Welcome to Monday, my friends. I'm meteorologist Andrew Humphrey. Flood watch in effect for Detroit and most of southeast Michigan. Showers and thunderstorms arriving. We'll talk about this, how long these storms stick around, and how serious they get. First at 4.
Also, this powerful partnership is sending a message to criminals in Detroit, and it starts with, quote, "Put your guns down." We'll explain. Paula.
This is what the blood bank looked like at 8 this morning at Henry Ford Hospital, Detroit, and by afternoon,
we may not be able to immediately fulfill the needs given what the product is.
we'll show you why the need got even more desperate.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4, ready or not, rain, storms, and some possible flooding could be moving into parts of Metro Detroit. Take a look at that radar. Now, if you are in a flood-prone area, you definitely want to be keeping a really close eye on the weather for the next few hours. So for the very latest, let's go to meteorologist Andrew Humphrey. What can we expect the next few hours there, Andrew?
Karen, the rain is just now arriving, and some of it gets heavier, especially later on tonight, even during the overnight hours. That's why the flood watch that's in effect right now for Detroit and most of southeast Michigan. You can see Oakland, Macomb, Wayne counties all included. It's in effect until 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. Here's a look at some of the shower activity that's happening now. Light rain farther to our north, heavier rain a little bit farther to our west out toward Ann Arbor. Some of the heaviest rain down here in portions of Lenawee County, including Adrian, where they're picking up some thunderstorm activity. Lightning tracker is turned on, at least a half dozen lightning strikes here, and some of this heavier rain moves into Monroe County within the next 10 to 15 minutes. So keep that in mind as we go through the rest of the afternoon and tonight. 79 right now under cloudy skies over at Metro Airport. Here's how much rain may fall between now and tomorrow morning. As much as a ½ inch to an inch or even more, especially north of 8 Mile and just south of Detroit down toward Monroe. So do what you can. Secure your basements, or if you know places are prone to flooding in your neighborhood, make sure you clear those storm drains to limit any sort of flooding in those areas. We'll talk more about this in minutes.
All right, thank you, Andrew. A Detroit police officer is recovering right now after being dragged down a street near Corktown. Police were responding to reports of drag racing and drifting at Bagley and Rosa Parks Boulevard. This was really early this morning. They say an officer tried to stop one of the drivers. As he approached, the driver reversed and then dragged that officer several feet into a fence. Officers fired shots at the car, but the guy got away. Police have seized the silver Ford Mustang he was driving and are still looking for 2 people. We're told the officer is in stable condition. We'll update the entire investigation when you join us tonight at 5. A family on Detroit's east side is left grieving after the shooting death of this 11-year-old girl. Police tell us Sanaya Pugh was part of a family gathering at a home on Goldborn Avenue when a stray bullet flew into that house, killing her. 2 people are in custody. We'll keep you posted on charges as this investigation continues. This summer, local, state, and federal law enforcement are joining forces to send a message to criminals in some of Detroit's most dangerous neighborhoods. If you're busted, you could face federal charges, and that's going to be much worse for you. Kimberly Gill in the newsroom. And Kim, this really is a powerful partnership.
It is, Karen, and good afternoon to you. United States Attorney Dawn Eisen says this summer's campaign is an extension of existing efforts to reduce violent crime. Just a few hours ago, she mapped out plans to target the most violent people, the most violent groups in the city's most violent neighborhoods. The U.S. Attorney says this is a data-driven plan focusing on areas in the city that have seen the most crime. The program actually kicked off on Memorial Day and will continue through Labor Day. This summer, Crackdown will focus on the 8th and 9th districts in Detroit. The ATF, FBI, Detroit Police and City Hall will be focusing on prosecution and prevention. So anybody charged with gun crimes will likely be prosecuted in federal court where penalties are stronger. The U.S. Attorney says she's reaching out to people who live in these communities, asking them to spread the word.
What we have asked them to tell the members of their community, put your guns down. Put your guns down, because if you don't, the feds are coming. We are coming, and we're going to arrest you.
What you are seeing today with the U.S. Attorney here is the strongest initiative I've ever seen from the federal government to go after gun violence.
Now, the mayor says Detroit's efforts are already paying off with a reduction in the number of people shot in the city from last year, but he wants to do even better. So, Karen, coming up new at 5, we're in those neighborhoods talking to the people impacted by violence. We'll get their reaction to this campaign, but for now, we'll send it back to you.
All right. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Well, many of you who are watching things on Capitol Hill as Congress attempts to reach some kind of compromise on new gun control measures, a bipartisan group of senators could be closer to a deal on red flag legislation, changes to background checks, and also investments in school safety. But right now, the bill would not include an assault weapons ban or more comprehensive background checks. House Democrats are considering a package that would include 8 strict gun control proposals. On Wednesday, survivors and family members connected to the recent mass shootings in Texas and New York will testify before Congress. Blood supplies are critically low at one local hospital. At this point, employees have been asked to roll up their sleeves to donate to keep blood products available for patients. Paula Tutman is live at Henry Ford. And Paula, the hospital sent you some photos that really had you thinking twice on this issue because it really sinks in on how bad it is.
Oh my goodness, Karen. Yeah, the photos I got from a staffer this morning were shocking, and I want you to consider this. So if a patient is prescribed at getting 8 units of blood per day, for instance, right now that patient may only be getting 4 units. This is what the blood bank at Henry Ford Hospital in Detroit looked like at 8:45 this morning. Sparse, critically low, and extremely worrisome to Jim Hayward, the blood bank manager, who immediately rolled up his own sleeves to donate.
Right now, it's several traumas walking through the door. It's my biggest concern, being able to accommodate people that are in need of it immediately.
He put the word out to fellow employees, nurses, doctors, administrators, people already engaged in the business of saving lives, to stop what they were doing to double down on saving lives.
Working here every day, you see everybody is a desperate need, so this is the best thing that you can do to help anybody, even if you want to just contribute just a little bit.
We also supply Bloomfield, Wyandotte, and Macomb Township with their products. So it's important that we kind of keep a decent inventory for ourselves and for all of our other satellites as well.
When the blood supply is this low, there is fear that anyone rolled in on a stretcher from a car accident or any other emergency won't have the blood they need to save their life. And in fact, today, there was rationing of blood to any number of patients who are receiving half doses of blood products.
The people that are getting blood routinely obviously are our cancer patients. We're seeing people that are going for surgery that need to have blood available in case that there's any issues.
Dr. Rana Audish is not only a physician here, but also a patient.
I had a tumor in my liver that burst, and I lost all of my blood volume in a matter of an hour into my abdomen.
She had a near-death experience on the operating table in 2008. Had that acute condition happen today with the current blood supply.
The night that I needed them, I needed quite a lot, 26 units of packed cells. Now, if I was that sick, I wouldn't have what I needed to survive the operating room.
And though employees and staffers came to the pop-up blood drive to literally give of themselves, by mid-afternoon, this is what the blood stores look like.
The blood, once you see it, it's gone, like by midnight.
Okay, so this is what the blood supply looks like right now. My partner Justin is going to go inside this cooler, and it might look like a lot of blood. It is not. You heard what Leah said. They're sending blood to other places. This will likely be gone by midnight. By the way, if you want to donate, Versity is the organization that supplies blood to hospitals. Versity. It doesn't go to other emergencies, and we'll put information on all of our social media platforms and clickondetroit.com so you can make an appointment to possibly do your part to help them get out of this jam. Karen?
All right, thank you for letting know about this issue. We appreciate it. Thank you, Paula. Well, as the Detroit Grand Prix transitions from Belle Isle to downtown, race officials celebrate the passing of the flag with a ceremonial drive to the future finish line in downtown Detroit. This morning, 3 Chevy Corvettes drove from Belle Isle across the MacArthur Bridge, making their way along the new downtown Detroit street circuit. The chairman of the Grand Prix says he's already counting the days to next year's race.
There are about 12 cities in the world that have downtown racing. In the world. And we're one of them now to have racing on our streets. So we are so delighted, we are so excited, we are so motivated to bring it to our city.
We saw an exciting finish on Belle Isle yesterday with Will Power from Team Penske winning the race, then taking that one last jump into the James Scott Memorial Fountain.